Are you ready to train like a true powerhouse on the court? In this video, we are breaking down the powerhouse workout routine of Juan Martin Del Potro, the giant of the baseline, who brought raw, explosive power to every match. Del Potro's height and reach give him a unique advantage on the court, enabling him to hit down on the ball with incredible force. This allows him to generate flat, powerful shots that few players can match. But what does it take to train like this? We're diving into Del Potro's full body workout, including his essential footwork drills that keep him agile despite his size, and his upper body routines that build the strength needed to unleash those devastating ground strokes. If you're looking to add explosive power and aggression to your game, you'll want to stick around for the final segment, where we reveal how Del Potro trains to maintain that intensity on the court. And it's not just for those at the peak of their game. If you're dealing with injuries or coming back from one, Del Potro's rehab workouts offer invaluable insights. He's faced his fair share of challenges, and his approach to recovery can be a game changer for you too. Watch till the end, you won't want to miss it.
Standing at 6'8", Del Potro's height gives him an imposing reach, allowing him to cover the court with long, deep ground strokes. But what really sets him apart is his footwork and movement. Despite being a taller player, he makes it look effortless, gliding around the court with a relaxed demeanor that almost tricks you into thinking it's easy. But as any coach or player knows, that kind of movement doesn't come naturally. It's the result of countless hours of footwork, drills, agility exercises, and precise court movement training. Footwork is the foundation of any great tennis player's game, but it's especially crucial for someone like Del Potro. Taller players often struggle with quick, precise movements because their longer limbs can be harder to control. However, Del Potro has mastered this aspect of his game, and that's what allows him to be such an effective defender on the baseline. His footwork drills likely focus on maintaining balance while moving quickly, ensuring that he can change direction at a moment's notice without losing his stability. Agility drills, such as ladder drills or cone drills, are essential in building the kind of quick twitch muscle response needed to move fluidly across the court. These drills help improve not just speed but also coordination and reaction time, allowing a player like Del Potro to get to balls that seem out of reach. Del Potro's ability to defend from the baseline is one of his most significant strengths. His deep, long ground strokes allow him to push opponents back, giving him more time to set up his next shot. But it's not just about hitting the ball hard, it's about being in the right place at the right time. This is where his court movement comes into play. Court movement drills, which often involve practicing different scenarios where a player has to move quickly from one side of the court to the other, help a player like Del Potro maintain his positioning. These drills simulate match conditions, training him to anticipate where his opponent's shot will go and move into position before the ball even gets there. It's this kind of anticipation that makes Del Potro such a formidable defender, despite his size. First and foremost, the importance of footwork and movement can't be overstated. Whether you're tall or short, quick or powerful, your ability to move around the court efficiently will dictate your success as a player. Incorporating footwork drills, agility exercises, and court movement practice into your training will improve not just your defense but also your overall game. For taller players like Del Potro, mastering footwork is even more crucial. It's what allows you to move quickly and stay balanced even when reaching for those difficult shots. And for players of any height, learning to anticipate your opponent's shots and moving into position early will give you the edge you need to control the point. Del Potro's wrist injuries are well known, especially the severe one that sidelined him for much of the year, preventing him from defending his US Open title. For any tennis player, wrist injuries can be career-threatening. But for Del Potro, whose game relies so heavily on his forehand, maintaining wrist strength and stability became absolutely essential. One of the most unique aspects of Del Potro's training was his focus on wrist exercises, specifically those done underwater or in a pool. These exercises, such as underwater wrist twists and ball wrist twists, are incredibly effective for improving wrist strength, stability, and control. The resistance provided by water is gentler on the joints, making it an ideal environment for recovery and strength building. These exercises are particularly beneficial for enhancing grip strength and preventing further wrist injuries, which is crucial for someone who has already undergone multiple surgeries. Strengthening the arms isn't just about bulking up, it's about building the right kind of strength that translates to power and control on the court. For Del Potro, arm strength is what allows him to generate such explosive power on his forehand, a shot that has become one of the most feared weapons in tennis. But it's not just about the power, it's about being able to control that power and deliver it with precision, even after a series of injuries. Del Potro's arm workouts are tailored to enhance not just his strength, but also his endurance and flexibility. This is especially important for a player who's had to come back from injury. Building strength in the arms helps in supporting the wrists, reducing the strain on them during powerful shots. Exercises like wrist curls, resistance band work, and specific wrist strengthening routines have been integral to his recovery and continued success on the court. Del Potro's forehand is legendary, and much of its effectiveness comes from his footwork and setup. When he's able to position himself correctly and get the right setup, his forehand is virtually unstoppable. This is where his training in footwork drills comes into play. Despite his height, Del Potro has worked tirelessly to ensure his movement is both quick and precise, allowing him to get into the perfect position to unleash his forehand. Footwork drills that focus on agility, speed, and balance are key components of Del Potro's training. These drills help him stay light on his feet, enabling him to move around the court efficiently and set up his shots with precision. The ability to move quickly and get into the right position is what allows Del Potro to hit those blistering forehand winners, even after enduring wrist injuries that could have easily ended his career. Of course, no discussion about Del Potro's game would be complete without addressing his backhand. Due to his wrist injuries, his backhand has never been the most powerful weapon in his arsenal. Opponents often target his backhand, knowing that it's not as strong as his forehand. However, Del Potro has managed to turn what could have been a glaring weakness into a reliable defensive tool. One of the most impressive aspects of Del Potro's career is how he's managed to stay competitive despite the injuries he's faced. Wrist injuries are particularly challenging for tennis players as they can severely limit your ability to play at a high level. But Del Potro's commitment to his training, particularly his focus on strengthening his wrists and arms, has allowed him to overcome these setbacks. His underwater wrist training and ball wrist twists are prime examples of how innovative and dedicated he is in his approach to recovery and injury prevention. By focusing on building wrist strength in a controlled, low-impact environment, Del Potro has been able to return to the court with his signature power intact. This dedication to his training is something all players can learn from, especially those dealing with injuries. This training has helped him to improve his serve also, the griping of the racket. Del Potro's serve is particularly dangerous because it sets up his forehand so well. A strong serve often results in a weaker return from his opponent, giving Del Potro the time and space to step in and rip a forehand. The combination of a powerful serve and a monstrous forehand makes it incredibly difficult for opponents to break his serve, giving him a considerable edge in his matches.